The highway shimmers under the morning sun. Heat ripples off asphalt that stretches endlessly in both directions. Then you see at the line, not a normal traffic jam, but something different, something still. Hundreds of cars sit motionless, engines off, windows down, people standing outside their vehicles with that 1,000-yard stare of those who've already accepted the worst. This is exit 47, somewhere in West Texas. The last functioning gas station within a 200-mile radius. The price board reads $31.89 per gallon, but the numbers don't matter anymore. The pumps have been dry for 6 hours. The tanker that was supposed to arrive yesterday never came, and the one scheduled for today just got rerouted to a military depot 3 states away. You can feel it in the air, that electric tension, when people realize the invisible thread holding society together has just snapped. This isn't about fuel anymore. It's about what happens when the machine stops, and we're all still inside it. The station manager stands on the concrete island between the pumps. His name is Danny, 52 years old. Worked here for 17 years. He's holding a megaphone someone handed him, but his voice cracks before he even starts speaking. Folks, I know you've been waiting. I know some of you drove a long way. But there's nothing left. The underground tanks are reading 0. Corporate stopped answering calls 2 days ago. I'm sorry. The crowd doesn't erupt. That would require energy. Instead, they just stand there, absorbing the confirmation of what they already knew. A woman near the front late 30s, scrubs still on from her hospital shift, drops to her knees. A man with a red beard punches his truck's hood once, then stops. His knuckles bleed, but he doesn't seem to notice. A teenage girl in the back seat of a sedan 3 cars deep starts crying. Her father reaches back to comfort her, but says nothing, because there's nothing left to say. It started 11 days ago, not with an explosion or a declaration, but with a spreadsheet. A logistics analyst in Rotterdam noticed something strange. Tanker ships weren't leaving port on schedule. Refineries in the Gulf were operating at 60% capacity, then 50%. Then 30. By day 4, the international shipping corridors looked like parking lots. Crude oil was still in the ground, but the trucks to move it, the refineries to process it, the infrastructure to distribute it, all of it seized up like an engine without oil. Cyber attacks took down payment systems for fuel distributors. Labor strikes shut down ports. Currency collapses in 3 countries made it impossible to pay for shipments. And then the cascading failures began. Diesel shortages meant trucks couldn't deliver food. Food shortages meant riots. Riots meant martial law. Martial law meant fuel got diverted to military and emergency services. The civilian supply chain, the thing that quietly fed the entire country every single day, just stopped. By the second day at exit 47, people start making camps. They pull sleeping bags from trunks. They string tarps between vehicles for shade. Someone sets up a Coleman stove and starts boiling water for instant coffee. It feels almost communal for a moment, like a strange tailgate party. But the smiles are thin, the jokes forced. Everyone's doing math in their heads. How much water do I have left? How many calories? How far can I walk if I have to abandon the car? A man in a cowboy hat tries to organize a supply share. He walks down the line with a notebook, asking what people have and what they need. It works for about an hour. Then someone accuses someone else of hoarding. The notebook gets thrown. The cowboy hat walks away. The sun climbs higher. The temperature hits 104 degrees. The gas station's convenience store is locked. Danny left the keys inside and disappeared some time before dawn. A few people peek through the windows. They can see shelves half-stocked with chips, candy bars, warm soda. It's not much, but it's something. By noon, the window shatters. No one sees who does it. A teenager climbs through and starts passing items out. No one stops him. No one even pretends to be scandalized anymore. Morality has a temperature threshold, and they passed it 3 hours ago. Cell service dies that afternoon. Not all at once, but in waves. First, data stops loading. Then calls start dropping. By 3 p.m., there's nothing, no bars, no signal, just the cold realization that the invisible web connecting them to the rest of the world has been severed. A man tries his satellite phone. It works for 90 seconds before the network gets overloaded and cuts out. Someone turns on a car radio. Static. Another tries AM. A faint voice crackles through. A pre-recorded emergency broadcast. Remain in your homes. Conserve resources. Await further instruction. Then it loops. The same message. Over and over. No new information, no answers. Just the sound of a system on autopilot, pretending it still exists. You're in the line too, maybe 20 cars back. You've been here since yesterday afternoon. You used the last half-tank of gas chasing a rumor on a trucker forum that this station still had supply. You didn't. Now you're here, and leaving isn't an option. You've got a daughter in the back seat, 8 years old. She keeps asking when you're going home. You tell her soon. You've been saying that for 16 hours. She doesn't believe you anymore. You don't believe you anymore. Night falls fast in the desert. The temperature drops 30 degrees in 2 hours. People huddle in their cars. A few start fires in trash cans. Someone plays a guitar. The song is slow and sad. Something about rivers and roads. It feels appropriate. You watch the fire flicker and wonder if this is what the end looks like. Not a bang, not a war. Just a long, quiet unraveling where the world slowly forgets how to move. By the third morning, the arguments begin. A man in a pickup truck tries to siphon gas from another car. The owner catches him. Fists fly. Blood stains the dirt. A woman screams at them to stop. They don't. Eventually, they're too tired to keep fighting. They just sit on opposite sides of the road, breathing hard, staring at nothing. The cowboy hat from yesterday tries again to organize. This time, he suggests a group trek to the next town, 30 miles east. Someone says they heard there's still power there, maybe even fuel. A dozen people agree to go. They pack light water, canned food, whatever shoes they have. They leave before dawn, disappearing into the gray light like ghosts. No one knows if they'll make it. No one asks. You think about joining them, but your daughter's shoes are too small. She's been complaining about blisters for days. You can't make her walk 30 miles. So you stay. You watch them go and feel the weight of the choice settle in your chest like a stone. The station becomes a village, not by design but by necessity. People form small groups based on proximity and temperament. The nurse, her name is Claire, starts treating injuries. Dehydration, heat stroke, a man with an infected cut on his hand. She works with whatever she has. Aspirin, bottled water, duct tape. It's not enough, but it's something. The trucker, a guy named Leon, starts coordinating water rationing. He finds a manual pump in the station's maintenance shed and rigs it to one of the underground tanks. It's not fuel, but it's water. Enough to keep 30 people alive for maybe a week, maybe. On the 4th day, the first death happens. An older man, 70s, diabetic. He ran out of insulin 3 days ago. He goes quietly in his sleep. No one knows his name. They bury him 100 yards from the road under a Joshua tree. Someone says a prayer. It's short. When it's over, people walk back to their cars in silence. Death isn't shocking anymore. It's just the new baseline. That night you hear engines. Distant at first, then closer. Headlights cut through the dark. A convoy of trucks rolls into the Lot 3 vehicles. Armed men in the beds. They're not military. Not police. Just people with guns and a plan. They don't ask. They take. Fuel cans, water jugs, food. One of them points a rifle at Leon. Stay down. Leon stays down. Claire argues. One of the men grabs her arm. She stops arguing. They're gone in 10 minutes. The camp is silent. No one fights back. No one calls for help. There is no help. You hold your daughter close and tell her to close her eyes. She does. You don't. By day 6, half the camp is gone, some left on foot. Some were taken by people like the convoy. Some just gave up. You don't know where they went. You stop asking. The ones who remain are the stubborn, the desperate, or the ones with nowhere else to go. You fall into the 3rd category. Your daughter asks again when you're going home. You tell her you don't know. It's the first time you've been honest with her in days. She cries. You hold her, the sun sets. The fire burns low. The rain comes on the 7th night. Not a storm, just a slow drizzle that feels almost cruel in its gentleness. People stand outside their cars with their faces turned up, mouths open, catching drops on their tongues. It tastes like dust and metal, but it's water. It's something. You find a tarp and spread it between 2 cars, funneling the rain into empty bottles. By morning you have 3 gallons. It's not much, but it's enough to make you think maybe you can last another few days, maybe. The station sits empty now. The pumps are monuments to a world that moved faster than it should have. The convenience store is gutted. The price board still reads $31.89, but the numbers are meaningless. Money stopped mattering somewhere around day 3. You tried using your credit card to buy water from someone. They laughed, not meanly. Just the kind of laugh that comes when something absurd is also true. Currency only works when people believe in it. No one believes in anything anymore except what they can hold in their hands. On day 9, a truck arrives. Not a tanker. Just a flatbed with a loudspeaker mounted on top. A man in a FEMA jacket stands in the bed and speaks through a megaphone. Emergency shelters are being established in El Paso and Midland. Transportation will be provided. Gather your belongings, leave your vehicles. You will not be able to return for them. Some people cheer. Others just stare. You look at your car. It's been your home for 9 days. It has your daughter's stuffed rabbit in the back seat, your wife's photo in the glove box, the last physical pieces of the life you had before this. The man says they're leaving in 30 minutes. You have to choose. You look at your daughter. She's thinner than she was 9 days ago. Her eyes are tired. You pack a bag. You leave the car. You don't look back. The truck is crowded. 40 people packed into a space meant for 20. It smells like sweat and fear and something sour you can't place. No one talks. The engine starts. The truck rolls forward. You watch the gas station shrink in the distance until it's just a dot on the horizon. Then it's gone. Your daughter falls asleep against your shoulder. You stare out the back at the endless line of abandoned cars stretching down the highway like a graveyard. It hits you then, the full weight of it. This isn't temporary. This isn't something you recover from. The world you knew, the one where you could drive anywhere, anytime, where grocery stores were always stocked and hospitals always had power, that world is gone. It didn't end in fire or war. It ended when the thing that made it all possible, the fuel that kept the machine running, just stopped. And now you're driving away from the last place that pretended it still existed. The truck rumbles through the desert. The sun sets behind you, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. It's beautiful in a way that feels wrong, like the world doesn't know it's supposed to be morning. You think about the people who stayed, the ones who refused to leave their cars, the ones who thought they could wait it out. You wonder if they're still there. You wonder if they'll survive. You wonder if survival even matters anymore. The shelter in El Paso is a high school gymnasium. Cots lined up in rows, a single meal a day. No showers. No privacy, just bodies packed together, waiting. For what, no one's sure. News comes in fragments. The fuel shortage is global. Refineries in the Middle East are offline. Shipping routes are paralyzed. Governments are rationing reserves for military use. The president gave a speech yesterday. You didn't see it, but someone tells you the highlights. Stay calm. Conserve resources. We will get through this together. The same empty promises every leader makes when the systems they built start to collapse. You don't feel calm. You don't feel together. You feel like a refugee in your own country. Your daughter adapts faster than you do. Kids always do. She makes friends with another girl her age. They play hand games and share a coloring book someone donated. You watch her laugh, and for a moment the weight lifts. Then you remember where you are. Then it comes back. Weeks pass. The world outside the shelter continues to fracture. You hear stories from people who arrive later. Cities under martial law, riots in Chicago, a firefight in Atlanta over a fuel depot. The supply chains aren't coming back. The trucks aren't running. The planes aren't flying. Civilization, it turns out, was always just 3 missed meals away from chaos. You always heard that phrase. You never believed it. Now you do. One night, Claire the nurse sits next to you on the gym floor. She looks older than she did at the gas station. Do you think it'll ever go back? She asks. You don't answer. You don't know how. She nods like she expected that. I keep thinking about my patients, she says. The ones on ventilators. The ones who needed dialysis. They're all dead now. Not because of disease. Just because the power went out. She stands and walks away. You don't see her again. The shelter runs out of food on day 32. They don't announce it. You just notice the portions getting smaller. Then the meals getting skipped. Then the rumors starting. They're going to evacuate us. They're going to leave us here. They're waiting for supply trucks that aren't coming. You don't know what's true. You don't think anyone does. You pack your bag. You take your daughter's hand. You walk out of the gym and into the street. You don't know where you're going, But you know you can't stay. The city is different now, quieter, darker. The street lights don't work. The traffic lights are dead. Cars sit abandoned on the side of the road, stripped for parts, or just left where they stopped. You see people moving in the shadows, not threatening, just existing, trying to find the next meal, the next safe place, the next reason to keep going. You walk for hours. Your daughter's hand is small in yours. She doesn't ask where you're going anymore. She just trusts you. That trust feels heavier than anything you've ever carried. You find a house on the edge of town. The door is unlocked. The inside is empty. Someone lived here once. There are photos on the wall. A family, smiling, vacation pictures, birthday parties, normal life. You wonder where they are now. You don't take the photos down. You just sit on the couch and close your eyes. Your daughter curls up next to you. "Are we home?" she asks. You open your eyes. You look around the empty house. "Yeah," you say. "We're home." It's a lie. But it's the kind of lie that feels necessary. The kind that keeps you both breathing. The world didn't end when the fuel ran out. It just stopped pretending that convenience was a right, that safety was guaranteed, that the invisible systems holding everything together were permanent. You think about the gas station sometimes, the line of cars, the people waiting for a miracle that never came. You wonder if they're still there. You wonder if it matters. The desert doesn't care. The sun still rises. The wind still blows. The earth keeps turning. It's just the people on it who've had to remember what it means to survive without the machine. And in that quiet, unforgiving truth, you realize something you'll never say out loud. The fuel didn't run out. We did.